Good morning, Year 4. I hope you're all okay. Today in maths, we're going to be learning this time how to multiply 3-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers. Now, before we head into today's video, can you please answer the daily fluency questions? Spend around 4 minutes on these, please. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, number 1, 26 multiplied by 5. We could partition the number 26 into 20 and 6, or you could use the written method that we have been working on recently. So the answer is 130. Number 2, when we are finding the product of two numbers, we know that we are multiplying them together. So we are multiplying 12 and 10 to get the answer of 120. Number 3, 13 multiplied by 10. We are making the number 13 10 times bigger, so that would be 130. What is 8,000 add 120? This is where your understanding of place value of numbers is really, really important. The thousands column will not change, but every other column will. So that will be 8,120. Number 5, you could take this multiplication in any way that you want. You could group the numbers by grouping 8 multiplied by 5, which would be 40, multiplying that by 2, giving you 80. Or you could recognise that you've got your 5 and your 2, making a 10, making it much easier to deal with, multiplying that by 8 and giving you 82. And finally, number 6, I wonder if anyone remembered our compensation method. The compensation method being when you take away 1 from each number, if you've got a number that is a multiple of 100, it will make it much easier to subtract using your column subtraction. So our new subtraction might be 799 subtract 119. The answer will not change, it will still be the correct answer, which will be 680. Just makes it a bit easier for you to deal with. So, in today's lesson, we are going to be again looking at multiplying two numbers. This time we are going to be multiplying a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number. I want you to have a think here. What are my two numbers that I am dealing with today? Just by looking at my place value chart. Have a think and pause the video, please. Okay, so we can see that we've got 2 hundreds, 4 tens and 3 ones, which is the same as 243. So that is my 3-digit number. I can see down the side here that I have 4 rows, which means that I am going to multiply this number by 4. Now, I want to ask you a few questions. I want to ask you, what is the value of this 4 here? Because it's not 4, is it? What is the value of it? 40, good job. Is the value, now I think the value of this number is 30. Am I right? No, I'm not right, am I? Because what is the value of this 3 here? 1, well done. So it's just 3 ones, well done. Just wanted to check that you had an understanding of that. So great job, Year 4. Now we want to work out 243 multiplied by 4. We can see here that we can exchange 10 of these ones for 1 10. We are now left with 2 ones. We can then see in our tens column that we can exchange 10 tens for 100. So then we are left with 7 tens. Now finally, can we exchange any hundreds for thousands? We can't, no, because we only have 9 hundreds. If we had 10 hundreds, what would we exchange it for? 1,000, well done. So we have 2 ones, 7 tens and 900. So the answer to my multiplication is 972. I have another multiplication here, 150 multiplied by 3. Now Tiny the Turtle says, I think the answer is 45. Can you pause the video and work it out and find out, is he right and is he wrong? And if he's wrong, what has he done wrong? Pause the video and have a think, please. Okay, so I know that I can use my place value chart to help me. I have got my 3 rows because I am multiplying by 3. I am going to put 150 in each of my boxes just to make sure that I've represented that correctly. Now here, I think my number looks like 15. What have I done wrong? I haven't done anything wrong, but I have interpreted it wrong. Even though there are no ones in this box, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, okay? It just means it has 0 ones, so we need to include that too. So we have represented 150 correctly 3 times. We can now begin to start on whether we need to exchange. So we can look at our ones and we can decide we don't need to exchange from our ones because there is nothing there. We can then look at our tens and think, oh, there are more than 10 tens. We can exchange 10 tens for 100. Do we need to make an exchange with our hundreds? No, we don't. So we are now left with 450. Can you see where Tiny Turtle went wrong? Well done. Tiny the Turtle did not count his ones, but it's really, really important that you do count your ones, because just because there are no place value counters there, we still need to include it as a value. Great job. I would like you to pause the video here and have a go at questions 1 and 2 on the worksheet, please. Okay, so now we're going to introduce the expanded written multiplication method for working out this 3-digit number multiplied by a 1-digit number. So I have the sum 123 multiplied by 4. So in my place value chart, how many 100 place value counters am I going to have? 1. Well done. How many tens place value counters am I going to have? 2. Good job. So that means I'd have 3 ones, and I'm going to do that 4 times because I've got 4 rows because I'm multiplying by 4. Now the first thing to do is deal with my hundreds first, right? No, I have to deal with my ones first, don't I, in case I need to make an exchange. Have I got more than 10 ones? I do. I have got 12 ones. So what I can do is I can write that as 3 multiplied by 4, which is 12. I'm then going to go on to my tens. How many tens do I have? Well, I have 24 times, so I have 80 tens. And how many 100s do I have? I have got 100 4 times, which is the same as 100. We can now start to look at my exchanges. So I have seen that I have 12 ones. So I could exchange 10 of these ones for 1 10, which means that you can see here that I am now left with 2 ones. Can I make any exchanges for my tens? No, I can't. So I can see that I now have 9 tens, which is the same as 90. And finally, can I make any exchanges for my hundreds? No, I cannot. I have 400. So the answer to this question is 492. So let's have a look at using the short written multiplication method to work this out. You'll notice that my grid, my squares, are a lot smaller than they were before. I'm going to show you now how we did with yesterday's lesson, where we actually make exchanges on the table. So we can see here that we have 3 ones multiplied by 4, which is the same as 12 ones. Now we know that because we've got more than 10 ones, we can exchange this for 1 10. Means we are left with 2 ones, but we need to exchange that 10 underneath our column so we don't get confused. So we can see here that it looks a bit like 12. 3 multiplied by 4 is our 12 ones, but 10 of these ones has been converted into 10. We can now see here that we do not need to make an exchange for our tens. We have now got 10 tens multiplied by 4, which is the same as 8 tens. But don't forget, we need to add on that extra 10. So 8 10 add 1 10 is what, please? 9 tens, which is the same as 90. Good job. Finally then, with our 100s, we have 100 multiplied by 4, which is, please, 400. Well done. So we pop that in there too because we didn't need to add any exchanges on. We've got the same answer as 492. Okay, what I would like you to do is have a go at answering this question, please. Pause the video now and have a go. Off you go. Okay, so we've got our part whole model here to show us that 103 can be partitioned into 100, 0 tens and 3 ones. We can start with our ones. 3 multiplied by 4, we know that that is 12, so we have 12 ones. We can exchange these 10 ones for 1 10, giving us 2 ones and 1 10 that we are exchanging. Looking now at our tens, we have 0 tens multiplied by 4, which is 0, but we need to add that 1 on that we've exchanged, so we now have 1 10. Finally then, looking at our hundreds, we have 100 multiplied by 4, which is 400. So our answer to this question is 412. Well done if you got that right. Now, this one here is a bit different. Let's have a look at how we can work this one out. So we need to start with our ones first. So we are working out 3 multiplied by 7, which is 21. We know that that is much more than 10 ones, but this time we need to make an exchange of 10 ones for 1 10 twice. So we've exchanged 2 10s. So we have carried over 1 1 and 2 10s here. Now we can move on to our tens column and work out 5 10s multiplied by 7. What is 5 multiplied by 7, year 4? 35, well done. So if we are working out 50 multiplied by 7, it is 350. But we need to add on those 2 10s. So we are adding on 20 to 350, which is 37. So we are now having 7 10s and 3 hundreds, which we've exchanged over. Our final part then is our hundreds. We know that we have 100 7 times. So 100 multiplied by 7 is 700, but we need to add on these 300s here. What is 700 add 300? Absolutely, 1000. So this time we have 10 hundreds, which is the same as our thousands. So we need to open up that another column and add it in. So our answer to this question is 1071. Okay, now it's your turn to answer questions 3, 4 and 5 on the worksheet. Can you pause the video, please?